Every single time you post content on Instagram, there are two options your audience have: keep watching or keep scrolling. But if you get them on the option one, they'll keep watching, build trust with you, make your brand recognizable, and definitely buy from you. And the content gurus will tell you there's a secret scripting technique, hook template that you need to have in order to build your personal brand so good that people beg to buy from you. But what actually most people miss is that there's another level of deepness into building your personal brand that literally nobody talks about because it's too boring. And it is called the authenticity pillar content. Because if your personal brand doesn't have a personality behind it that people can relate, then basically you don't have a personal brand. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you 3 things that you need to include in your content to build a strong personal brand that not just keeps people engaged but also makes them buy from you. And the reason why I can tell this confidently is because I've seen this work for myself and also for my clients. So without any further delays, let's just get started. So imagine you are sitting in a bar and I give you a challenge to sell someone your program in the next 30 minutes. How would you do it? Now most people will approach the random strangers and start making them count all the benefits of their program, how it is much more beneficial to have their program and how it is more better than their competition, which you can do, but it's really hard to sell someone on that, because as soon as you approach someone and start selling them and they feel like you are selling them something, you lost the game right there. What you need to realize is that it's 2026 and everybody has a highest PS meter going on in their brain. As soon as they feel like you are selling something, they'll bug off. So you need to change the mindset from selling a stranger to selling a friend. What I mean by that is you to think about the last time you bought something from someone. Why was that reason? If I tell you about myself, every single time I've paid a coach a hefty amount of money, it wasn't because of the program. It wasn't because their program was the best in the world. But still I paid them for one reason. Because I knew that person. I actually believe that this person can get me my results. And this is the best person I want to work with. It doesn't matter if their program is the best in the world. Or it doesn't matter if their program is better than their competition. So instead of just selling, you need to introduce yourself. Go to that stranger and introduce who are you, what you do, and most importantly, what's your story. Because the moment you share your story, the moment you share the struggles that you have faced in your story, and that is why you have built this program that helps the people who are going through the same story, whole game changes. Because suddenly you are not speaking to a random stranger, you are not just pitching a random product to a random stranger, you are just curating that program to that random stranger. And as soon as that story lands on that random stranger, they'll feel much more intrigued on buying that program. It's not any product, it's a product backed by a story. For example, if you're selling fat loss courses, do not just sell fat loss courses. Tell them why are you doing this. For me, a story might come up. I was always bullied in my childhood because of being fat. So that is why I decided to change the things, and I started losing the fat, and I started going to the gym, and I started dieting, and I changed the whole perspective of my life. I used to doubt myself, I used to think low of myself, and now I'm the most confident person in the room. And that is why I built this program. This is not just a fat loss program, but this is a whole transformation that we do in order to take you from that low esteem person to a high confidence person that is made to rule the world. You see how everything changes just by a simple story, because suddenly I'm speaking by experience. Suddenly this product is not just a product, but an extension of my whole life. By the way, I don't sell fat loss program. So yeah, moving on to the point number 2, your different framework. Now the thing that you need to realize is that there are a lot of people selling the same thing as you. And to make your product a step more deeper, a step more closer to being different, is by using a different framework, or even just calling it by a different framework. So instead of just calling it a fat loss program, it can be like high fat to high confidence program. Now the program remains the same, it's just the name that I've changed so that it targets the people who are in the same lane as us, or in the same lane that we are trying to target. Because many times people also buy just on an impulse purchase. If they see that this program is something different that I've never heard of, I need to see what's inside it. I am more interested in, let's just buy it and see what happens, because I've never heard of this framework or I've never heard of this program name. Now you need to present your program in such a way that it sounds like you have a different framework than your whole competition does, that you have something different that nobody else does, and that just creates a unique marketing angle. Now the third thing and the third level of this iceberg, your proof. You can sell the things without having the proof, But once you have the proof, everything just starts blowing up. Because the last and the most deepest level of trust is the proof. People want to see if your thing actually works. People want to see if your story is actually true. People want to see if your unique framework actually is something that they might use and they might get results from. Because proof is the final boss of your business. If you don't have proofs, if you don't have results, then it's really hard to sell your program or sell your thing. It's a uphill fighting battle, because people might buy you, people might go through your program, and if they don't get the results, it's almost like you have the best marketing but you don't have the best product. And even if I said this hypothetical situation to you, think about this. There are two products that are shown to you and both are the exact same product, but one product has 1-star rating and the second product has 5-star rating. Now which product do you feel more intrigued on buying? It's like a no-brainer. Product which people have already bought and said that this product is getting me results. That is the product that you are going to choose, even if both products are saying the same thing. And that is the difference that you need to create. Now to summarize the whole video, how do you create content or how do you build a brand that targets these all three things? First of all, create a My Story content or create a My Story post on your Instagram and pin it to your profile. This is the first thing that I do with all of my clients. I tell them to recap their story and think of themselves as they are introducing themselves in a bar to a random stranger. How would they say their story so that it will feel like vulnerable and it will feel like you can both connect together, because the highest connection point is the vulnerable points in your life. If you want to deepen your relationship with someone, the best thing that you can do to do that is to share your struggles, your vulnerable points, your fears, your desires, because those parts are the part which are shared when the relationship has deepened, or that is the part that makes the relationship deep. Because to be honest, everyone can share their name, everyone can share what they do, but very few people can actually tell what are the low points of the life they left behind and the reasons why they are doing this. And that is exactly the way we are going to approach people in a bar in order to sell them. The first thing is to build the connection. The second point, your framework. When you create content, try to include this framework name as many times as you want. For example, it can be like, here are the 5 ways I lost my fat and gained confidence, blah, blah, blah. And this is exactly what I do inside my low fat, high confidence program. This is my client Adam. He came in 200 pounds and currently he has at 150 pounds, and that was possible because of our low fat, high confidence program. So try to include your keyword of your unique framework as many times as you can inside your content. Now the third thing, your proofs. This is the thing that I see most of the coaches, consultants in this space not do as many times as they should. You need to post your proofs even if you don't get likes and engagement, because those posts are not meant to get likes and engagement. You need to post them to show your future clients that you actually have the proof backing the things that you actually say on your content. And I am guilty of this too, because I always feel like kind of icky and sharing my wins because I feel like it's flexing and all of that stuff. But one of the things that I've realized through my mentors and all of that is that you need to share your proofs even if it feels like flexing, because the people at the back end of the thing or other side of the screen are looking for that, and that is the only thing that they look and then book a call with you and then pay you so that they can get the same results. So never feel ashamed to show your wins and show the results that you have gotten for yourself and for your clients. I will do this once a week, every single month. So yeah, that is the 3 things that you need to include in your personal brand if you really want to make it so magnetic that people will only buy from you and not from your competition. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, keep creating.